Aloha folks, this is Kimo from Kimo's Oh No Grinds. Today we're going to do a Portuguese dish, and it's pork chops with a golden mushroom gravy, sauteed onions, and a little bit of mushrooms. So I've seasoned my pork chop. Any kind of pork chop you want to use, you can use. A little fat is best, and the bone is always better. It's salt and pepper, a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder. I am using my cast iron grill skillet. Sister, please be careful because it's going to see how hot it is. And then actually I'm going to do my other side in the pan. You don't have to do this, but you know, I'm used to the splatter. Of course, always Hawaiian sea salt. I use about a pinch. That's one thing about my cooking, I don't measure nothing. I do a little bit of pinch, maybe a pinch and a half of onion powder. And a little bit of garlic powder. And for the people that see the words on there, I've used it backwards, but that's okay, because you know. So, anyways, you just let it do its thing. I did add a little bit of vegetable oil to it, but I am using my griddle. And as you can see, these are the pork chops that I have, and then we'll be back in a minute to show you the rest of the ingredients. Aloha. Welcome back, folks. And actually, I just took my raw onions. They're Spanish onions. I just cooked it in the same pot.
How many onions?
A whole onion, and I just cut them, as you can tell, long ways, because I'm going to put it on top of my pork chop. And we're also going to have some mushrooms. That would be part of the final dish. But I'm just cooking the rawness out of the pork chops. And like always, my hands are asbestos, so I need a hot pad. And then I just go like this, just put them over, doesn't matter where, how you do it. I basically just cook the rawness out of them. And I will make a golden mushroom gravy. You can find these pretty much in any grocery store. Okay, well, as you can see, the onions are in, this is basically a Dutch oven. You can use any kind of pan because you're going to put this in the oven to finish cooking, or you can even put them in a slow cooker. So if you do this, put everything in a slow cooker for about 4 hours on low. That should be pretty good. If you put it in the oven, about 275, you don't want to overcook it. You just basically want everything to do that. So then we're going to get some golden mushroom. It's actually a soup mix. It has fresh mushrooms and stuff like that. It'll look like that. Now, because there's so much liquid in here, I know it says 1 can per, actually 1 can of water per can of soup. I don't do that only because we have a lot of juice in it and liquids, and it's going to be, you don't want to. Basically what this is going to do is make the gravy, because this is how, and then you get a whisk, because you're going to mix up the soup. So it looks like this. And this is great, for, if you have a big family, you're obviously going to do more than 4 pork chops, but we don't have that big a family. But again, the slow cooker, this is another way to use a slow cooker. Put it in there, but you do need to get the browning of the pork chops, and then you can just leave it in there. So it's going to be a consistency like that. You just pour it over everything. It doesn't have to be perfect. But see how it has fresh mushrooms, but I'm also going to add fresh mushrooms later just to give it some more flavor. So this is how it looks. So voila, cover it up, stick it in the oven like that, like I said, for about 4 hours at 275, and we have dinner. Aloha. Aloha, folks. It's the next day from our golden mushroom gravy pork chop dinner. Please go like this with the steam. As you notice, this is cooking. So this is what our dish is going to look like. I actually used some fresh mushrooms on top, and you just let it percolate at 325 for about 3.5 hours until it's bubbly, and just let it rest a little bit. And what you'll do, you can put it on rice. Rice is the best way because that's the only way I've really had it as a starch. But if you don't like rice, you could probably use a pasta or even mashed potatoes. You could put mashed potatoes in and put the gravy over the mashed potatoes. It's fork tender. You really don't need a fork. And hopefully you will try that recipe and you'll enjoy it. And we look forward to seeing you again. Aloha from Kimo's Own Grinds. Aloha, folks. Like this video and subscribe to my channel for notifications. Aloha.